Good morning, my dear students of class 10th. I welcome you all to this new class of social science where we will continue the chapter Money and Credit. Children, I hope the previous part, the introduction which was explained in the first video, is clear to you. And even if you have any doubt, you are free to ask. You may message or write in the comment section that ma'am, please explain this part or this topic again. So I'll do the needful. Now let us begin with the next topic. After we discussed that what were the learning objectives in this chapter, where we will see different phases of evolution of money, then we will see what is actually money, the definition, features, functions of money. Then we saw how did money evolve, how did money come into existence when in earlier times money was not there, how did people purchase different commodities. Then we got to know that people started exchanging their goods and commodities if they were in need of, and this system was known as barter system. Then the main features of the barter system are oldest exchange system, goods and services were exchanged or switched over, no need of money. And then one important condition in barter system is required, that is double coincidence of wants. Coincidence, that similar situations on two sides. Double coincidence means if I need that commodity, it should be there that you also need that commodity which I am having. So double coincidence of wants is also required. Then we saw another property of a barter system, that no exchange of goods was no exchange of money or anything in this was required. Now let us see advantages of barter system. Number one, it is direct exchange system and therefore needs could be satisfied immediately. You have water, the other person has sugar, then if you two are needing that commodity, your wishes are satisfied immediately. You two have exchanged and your needs are satisfied. Then children, second important advantage of this is no medium of exchange is required. We don't require any medium. Like in today's time, if you need to get anything, you need to spend money, but there no medium of exchange was required. Third advantage was that low transaction time is required, which helps the people to avoid the risk of change in values. For example, if you exchange through gold, silver, their values keep on increasing and decreasing, because then you will keep this commodity as a mortgage, isn't it? But or as security. But when in barter system you directly exchange goods and commodities, there the risk of change in value is minimum. Then children, let us see the limitations or disadvantages of barter system. Number one, need of double coincidence of wants. No matter you are in need of sugar, but that person who is having sugar in abundance is not ready to take your oil or your commodity which you want to exchange with. So double coincidence of wants is very important. Number two, lack of standard measurement of value. How will you get to know that the amount of oil you are taking and the amount of sugar you are giving are having equal value? You may have quantities exactly the same, but value may be high. Sugar may be ranging of lesser value, but oil may be expensive. So lack of standardization of measurement of value, right? Third disadvantage, problem of divisibility. Obviously, if you need to get wheat and you are giving oil, how can you demarcate that what quantity or in what proportions you are going to divide that? Then problem in storing value. Storage value, that if you are going to keep it for so long, it is not going to get rotten or it is not going to get diminished. But a commodity which has to be consumed freshly, then you need to take care of that. So you have to consume that commodity within that time period. But the other person who is keeping that commodity which can be stored for further time is enjoying that benefit. So another disadvantage of this is that problem in storing value. What value of these commodities are persisting in storage? Then children, fourth problem is Problem of transferring value. Again, the values which are not demarcated, which are not fixed, are coming again and again. Then, children, these are some problems which occur during the barter system. So, it was important to make you people aware of these advantages and disadvantages. I hope double coincidence of wants is very clear to you. If not, then I will give you one example. Problem of Ram Vilas as given in your book. He is a potter, makes pots, and wanted to exchange his pots for some clothes. He visited all nearby cloth makers, but none of them were ready to give the clothes in exchange to his pots. Obviously, children, pots are are holding very lesser value, and clothes are obviously expensive. But none of the cloth makers were ready to exchange Ram Vilas's pots and give him in return the clothes. They want something against their clothes. They did not want pots against their clothes. So, to practice barter system, there must be double coincidence of wants. So this is the majorly highlighted point, that double coincidence of wants is a must condition. Right? Now we'll see money. The most primitive commodity money. The first type of money is commodity money. The most primitive type of money is commodity money. We will come to present time money, but let us see and let us trace the money from the primitive time, the ancient time. From the primitive time, the first type of money which came into existence was commodity money. For example, if I give you what is commodity money, you don't even have to search in book, children. You can easily relate commodity as money. So some commodity which is useful for other person may be exchanged for some other commodity, and that will be termed as commodity money. To define it in simple terms, some useful commodity that is in general demand is used as an exchange as a medium of exchange, and may be served both as means of payment and measurement of value. So in simple words, a commodity which is useful for that other person will be used in the process of exchange, and then this will be serving two purposes. Number one, as a means of payment. You are not giving any money, you are giving this commodity as a money, and then hence it is holding that value, measurement value. Now children, let us see some examples of commodity money. Various commodities have been historically served as money. We all know this now, that the first type of money was commodity money. So let us see what examples can be come across through commodity money. For example, cattle, tobacco, sugar, grains, shells, metals, all these commodities were considered to be useful and valuable. Therefore, they were exchanged in the process of exchange as commodity money. Now children, but the transaction is still essentially a barter trade of one good or service for another good. So no matter we arose from that barter system and we stepped one step ahead in terms of money, but still exchanging different commodities is again falling in the category of barter system. It is again type of barter system. Then children, when people started practicing commodity money, they must have started realizing its merits and demerits. Again, let us see what were the demerits which then persisted. Number one, again, measurement value was lacking. So, lack of standard measure of value. Then again, problem of storing value. Again, payment was not possible. So, these things, till the time we were using commodity, the same problem will be continuously coming again and again. Now, first we saw commodity money. Second type of money we will see now, cattle money. To overcome the problem of transference of value, we saw transferring value was difficult in those times. So, people started using cattle as money. Cattles. Domestic animals having common utility were used as medium of exchange. These animals were known as cattle money. Simple terms. Instead of money, people were giving cattle because people were domesticating animals at that time and it was holding a lot of importance. Now, since people started using the second type of money, which was cattle money, again there were some problems arising. Again, measurement of value was coming. Problem in storing value. Then problem in transferring value. Payment was not possible. Payment of division was there. Problem of division, divisibility was not there. Same problems were coming from barter system till this cattle money. Now let us come to the third type of money, metallic money. Metallic money from metals. Then metals, precious metals like gold, silver, etc. were having common utility, and they were started using as medium of exchange, which were known as metallic money. Even if for 2 mark question or 1 mark question, children, you are getting this question that explain metallic money, you just don't look here and there, simple understand the term metallic money, break the word money, which is having some value for purchasing. Then metallic money, which was being used by people in earlier times, which was made of metals, was known as metallic money. And then you can give some examples and your answer is done. So you can explain in your own words everywhere, but the thing is the content and the important aspects which are required, you need to put them in your answers. There is no hard and fast rule that you need to write definition from the book, but you can explain in your own words, giving the exact and the correct content. Now, since metallic money was coming into existence, metallic money was easy to be stored and it was not getting damaged because cattle and commodities are going to get over. So, metallic money was not going to be damaged. It was very convenient to carry from one place to another. You need to go and purchase so much of quintals of wheat and you need to carry how many cattle to go to that shop. But metallic money was very convenient and very easy to carry from one place to another. And then this can be divided into smaller parts. So here the problem of divisibility, carrying, transferring value was solved. And children, since metallic money came into existence, then the way was open for modern coins. When people started using metallic money, people again after that started improvising metallic money and they started making modern coins. Coins were having some symbols to express value. Like today also, you have 2 rupees coin, you have 5 rupees coin. How can you demarcate that this is 5 rupee coin, this is 1 rupee coin, this is 10 rupee coin? Again, you need to see the value, you need to see the symbol. Yes or no? Symbol of 1. 1 will be written, you can easily get to know this is a 1 rupee coin. If 10 number is given, that symbol 10 is going to tell you that this coin is the value for 10 rupees. So children, the metallic money gave rise to coins, and then when coins were made, then standardization with weight, size and color was done. Standardization. See, a coin can be small, bigger, everywhere, but standardization in coins was done. Same size for 5 rupees, same size for 10 rupees. So this is known as standardization, children. And now for today's class, this content I hope is understood by all. In the next class, children, we will discuss the definition of present time money and the important aspects we discussed in today's class. Thank you so much, children. Have a nice day.